Hey there. Happy Tuesday to you. This is becoming what I call a straight talk Tuesday, where I am just going to talk straight about the things that I have learned in my time in business and just kind of going from there. And today I want to talk about what happens when you show up for business. So this month we've been talking a lot about showing up for your business, showing up in the right places, making sure you're scheduling time to show up in those places, getting your Google business profile all updated and all taken care of and all of that. And it's generated a lot of great conversations with some people who I really admire, some clients, people that are also out in the workforce. And I wanted to share a little bit about that with you today because I think we don't often take a look at what happens when we don't show up. And we tend to rely on the quick fixes and the technology a lot, thinking that that is enough to get our business out there. And being a web designer, of course, I believe in the technology. There's a lot you can do with technology to get yourself and your business out there. There really is. But I know for me, like I want the real me to be represented because it's the real me that is going to attract my clientele. And when it comes to relying on technology, putting yourself out there, it's not often the real you that is displayed. And for me personally, I don't think we can rely on technology alone. Can you build a robust, amazing business on technology alone? Yeah, of course you can. But is that what you want? Or are you wanting to make real connections? A lot of the people that I work with, they want to make real connections with their clients. They want to impact lives. They want to make change. They want to, do something that has a purpose and a passion behind it. And that to me is what I'm talking about here today. So, what happens when you don't show up in your business? Well, your business is not as visible as you think. We are inundated with technology today. So, unless you are spending a lot of time and money in ads to make sure you're showing up all over the place, your business is just not that visible. And even when it is visible, that doesn't mean the people seeing it are grasping what you have to share. I honestly think that maybe a third of the people who follow me at best will see, well, not even a third, I don't know, a small number of the people who actually follow my pages see my content. It changes, it varies and stuff like that. But even the ones who see it on a regular basis, a third of my content is what they probably see and recognize as me. Now, granted, I have some amazing people who engage with me all the time, and I love every single one of you guys. And I know you make a point to connect with me, but I'm not naive in thinking that everything I put out there is social media gold and that everybody is seeing it. They're just not. That's not the reality. I don't put money behind my posts. I don't do ads. And there's nothing wrong with doing ads. Don't get me wrong. That's just not the approach that I take. And so I know that if I'm only showing up once a week, or I'm only on a picture image post, or posting a quote, or something kind of generic that isn't me and my business, a small piece of what I believe, I'm not very visible. My business is not visible. And so you cannot rely on technology alone to be visible. You yourself have got to make the effort to show up if you want you yourself to be fully represented. That's to me the best way to get out there and to do that. I also have found a lot of times when we're not showing up on a regular basis, what I hear from people and I've experienced this too, is that our clients think they know what we do, but they're not real clear on what they do. And so when somebody reaches out to us and wants to work with us, they kind of define how we're going to do it based on what they believe. They define what services we're going to offer. They define how those services are going to be delivered and how the process is going to work. And the trouble with that is that you have to define your own process because that's where you're going to be strongest when you have a set, strict process. And so if you're not showing up very clearly on a regular basis to represent yourself, people aren't going to be real clear on what you do and how you do it. And you're going to start wanting to say yes because you're happy to have a client. You're happy to have somebody interested in your services. You're happy to have somebody willing to give you money. So you're going to say yes to something that you probably don't want to do because you're allowing them to define it. When you show up on a consistent basis and say, "Hey world, here I am. This is what I do and this is how I show up." you become more confident in those systems and processes that you put in place. You become more clear on how that works. You don't get offended when somebody wants you to step outside of those boxes. You don't get mad and angry. And you guide your clients through the process with respect and appreciation and gratitude. And it's just a win-win for everybody in that situation. So that's the another downside is that obviously people don't know clearly what you do. The third one that I want to share with you here is that, frankly, your business is just not going to grow. When you're not showing up, you may see little jumps of growth where you get a new client here, a new opportunity there, but your business is not truly going to grow. And by grow, I mean like consistent growth to where you are bringing in consistent good income to support yourself. Consistent good income that means your bills are paid. Consistent good income that means you can invest more in the things that you need, the tools and resources you need to make your business more efficient. That is the growth that I'm talking about. Not getting a client, not having an opportunity, but every month watching money coming in and watching opportunities happen and watching that business grow and your visibility grow. Now, there are going to be times when your business has grown and you've reached this new level of success that you want to step back and you want to be like, okay, I need to regroup and I need to make sure that I'm still in alignment with what I want to create. And that's fine. You get to step back from social media at those points. You get to step back from showing up and being visible in those moments because you're regrouping and you're making sure that you're taking care of what you've created. But you don't get to step back before growth happens, before that next level has been accomplished. When you step back before you have accomplished that next level of success and achievement, you're never going to get there. You're never going to accomplish what you set out to do. You're always going to be saying someday, someday, someday. And so the three things, just to kind of recap what I said, three things that I know happen to a business when you don't show up and consistently is your business just isn't visible and not the way that you want, not the real you visible. And if you are visible, it's going to cost you some money to show up. It's going to be money in ads and things of that nature. Clients are going to try and think, or they're going to think that they know what you do, and it's not going to be clear. And you're going to find yourself getting talked into doing work and jobs that are close to what you do, but not what you love, not why you're in the business. And then you're going to have a job that you don't really enjoy and love. And then what's the point? What's the purpose? Why go through all this hard work if you don't love what you're doing? And finally, your business just isn't going to grow. You're never going to reach that new level. But when you show up consistently, those levels are reached, and then you have time to step back. And it is scary. I get that. It's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to show up and be like, hey, world, here I am. There are times when I pop in to do a live video that I'm just like nervous and anxious and not terrified anymore. I used to be terrified. I'm not terrified anymore, but I'm nervous and I'm anxious and I don't really know what the heck I'm going to say. But it doesn't. But in the end, I showed up. I still do it. I still showed up. And I still connected with somebody who heard something that they needed to hear because that's what I was guided to share. So get out there. You know, we're coming up here. We're halfway through January now. You have an opportunity to make this month the best month you've had ever by starting to show up right now. So figure out a way, that little voice in the back of your head that's like, hey, you really should do this. You should do this to show up for your business. You should take that step, that step that scares you just a little bit. Take it. See what happens. You'll be surprised at how powerful it's going to be for you. And honestly, how scary it isn't once you've got it out there and once you've done it. So, all right, that is my chat, my straight talk for Tuesday. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and that you have an amazing week planned. And tell me, like, comment, share with me, how are you showing up this week? Like, I want to know. Tell me how you're showing up because I will make a point to go out there and find you and support you and cheer you on and be that cheerleader that you're hoping shows up when you decide to put yourself out there. So, all right, have a great day, and I will see you guys on Thursday.